Okay, this is Alicia Conrad, Audio Journal 1. I'm not really sure how this is supposed to work, so I'm just going to start from the bottom down to the, bottom to the top. From the adverse child experiences that I filled out, I filled in 6 yeses and 4 nos. Number 1, did a parent or an adult in your household often swear, insult, or humiliate you, make you feel afraid for your being physically hurt? My mother was in a domestically violent relationship with her live-in boyfriend. They dated for 11 years on and off. He lived with us for 4. He would berate me and my brother. He was really mean, and when my mother stood up to him for us, they would get into a physical fight, and she would get hit. Okay. Did you often feel that you had dirty clothes, or you had no one to protect you? Your parents were too drunk or too high to help you or take you to the doctor when you needed it. That's number 5. My mother and her boyfriend were alcoholics and drug addicts. They struggled more with the alcohol side. Me and my brother just became self-sufficient over time, feeding ourselves and doing things that we needed to do. We became very self-reliant. Were your parents ever separated or divorced? My parents were 15 and 17 when I was born. They stayed together for 3 years. They broke off their engagement due to not being good for each other. They would take the worst out of each other. And they were better people apart. That was number 6. Number 7. Was your mother or stepmother often pushed, grabbed, slapped, or had something thrown at her? Or was often kicked, hit, bitten, hit with a fist, or hit with something hard, or even repeatedly hit over at least a few minutes or threatened with a gun or a knife? My mother's live-in boyfriend that I spoke about previously got into constant physical fights with my mother. They would fight. She would often instigate the fight and make it worse than it could have been, by egging him on. She is pretty good at fighting back, but overall he would dominate her due to his strength comparatively. It happened mostly when they were both drunk. Number 8. Did you live with anyone with a problem with drinking or using street drugs? As I have said before, my mother and her boyfriend were alcoholics and drug addicts. Her drug of choice was meth, and his drug of choice was cocaine. They did drugs a few times a year when I was younger. They were functional drug addicts, actually, but they drank every night. The drugs weren't really a big thing for them. Was a household member depressed or mentally ill, or did a household member attempt suicide? Number 9. My mother was clinically and chronically depressed and had anxiety issues my whole life, and most of hers altogether. She attempted to slit her wrists, and her boyfriend found her and saved her life that day. Number 10. Did a household member ever go to prison? My mom's boyfriend did go to prison once, for a year due to breaking a restraining order. It was a no contact order because he had gotten into a big fight with her and it led outside. The neighbors called the cops. A few days later, after the restraining order was put in place, my mother allowed him to break it, and the neighbors called the police on him. So let's get back to the human service side. The question is, how will what you've gone through impact you as a worker, as a human service professional? I believe that my adverse and extremely traumatic background will allow me to be empathetic and compassionate in the human service world. I will be able to single-handedly understand what it is like to be to grow up with the not the best situations. My clients will be treated with the utmost respect and dignity. I feel like I will bring the heart that I have, and that it's because of the things that I have gone through. I believe that this will make me a better human service representative overall. The second and last question. How do our life experiences aid us and hinder us when it comes to working with our clients? So this one's a little bit more interesting. I believe that my experiences in the human service sector will be coming into the job knowing that I might be the only person in my client's day to say, "How are you?" or to smile at them, or to care about them in general. I come in with the passion that drives me to be the best and improve myself so that I can help them to the best of my abilities, because I know that's what they deserve from me. The way that my life experiences may hinder the human service sector is that no matter how much training and schooling that I have, I will always have this trauma in my head. Although it has taught me to be strong and self-sufficient and passionate at what I do, it is still in my head, even if I don't realize it. Listening to my client's trauma over the course of years might push me to a point on the edge of taking the secondary trauma that I won't be able to take back. I have never been good at self-care. And even to this day, I'm still helping everyone else before myself. I believe that one day that might make me fall apart, and I might have to look into different employment, because the human service sector might be a little too much. Sorry, I'm a bit over.